Good morning, everyone. Sitting here drinking my coffee. Can't do a whole lot nowadays. Been sitting there working on some of my 243 brass, turning necks and working on the primer pockets and whatever. The state officials say I can't go anywhere, so I'm pretty much stuck here trying to fill in my time. And keep myself from going stir crazy while being cooped up in the house. We are under a lockdown, so I guess if you're having this unnecessary job, you're allowed to go to work. You can go to the grocery store. That's about it. Going over some of the targets here off this 223 that I shot, had a chance to get out and shoot the other day, and trying to figure out where I'm going. We've been working up some loads on this thing, and I got to a happy spot where I thought things were going to work out pretty good, and that was last fall. Right as I was going through this load workup process, it became hunting season, and they were out hunting, so I stayed away from the fields where I normally get out and do some shooting, because I know they like to hunt out there. And that led into winter, and winter led into some nasty weather, and I was really trying to keep the temperatures close from the last time I shot this thing to the next thing, try to keep things as consistent as I can. I found some primers I wanted to use, got a load I wanted to use, and I basically wanted to just change the length of the of my seating, try different lengths on there, and see what the barrel was happy with. One of the things I noticed, it was a little bit cooler than the last time I shot the thing. By about 30 degrees, it looks like, 25 degrees. And so I figured the ammo would be a little slower. I've actually done ammo tests where I've thrown the ammo in a cooler and kept it cool to see what the difference would be between ambient and cooler, and change the temperature of the actual rounds themselves. And colder ammo usually goes a little bit slower. The last time we ran out and shot this thing with those primers and that powder load and those bullets, the speeds were 27-20. This time I went out and shot it, the speeds were a little bit faster. Like I said, I was trying different seating depths. I've got 30 thousandths off the lands. That speed was 27.69. And this is exactly where we had it before, 20 thousandths off the lands. The speed was 27.20, and this time it's 50 feet per second faster at 27.70. Okay, no big deal, but it's throwing our kind of a group a little hinky. There's two shots there. I don't know if you can make it out, but and the group wasn't grouping very well. All right, standard deviation of 9, extreme spread of 24. Not too bad. It's kind of in the area of where we wanted to actually get in and work on, but that needed to tighten up a little bit. The next ones I had shot, coming up in on chasing back in, was 14 thousandths off, and that speed was 27.92. Got a little faster. Standard deviation 11, extreme spread at 29. And we're starting to get a spread out there a little bit, but the group is kind of stringing a little bit still up and down, and nice little flyer where that one had 2 flyers out. Shot the first 3 shots over there, then 2 right there. Then chasing up from there, went up to 7 thousandths off the lands. And that speed was 2791, standard deviation of 21, extreme spread of 55, and they strung horizontally. I don't know why they did that. And nice little flyer sticking out there. Other than that, the group wasn't too bad, other than that little stringy. Took us back over 20, and I'm trying to be down in the single digits. So that one kind of the thing, and that was at 7 thousandths off. Then I went to 0. I got them right up on the lands. That speed was 2802. Standard deviation 8 with extreme spread of 22. I can deal with that. I can deal with that. No signs of pressure, high pressure, overpressure on those cases. They still look good. I shot that last fall, same load, same powder, just 20 thousandths off, and I didn't have any issues going on there. They're kind of stringing over there too, and boom, another nice little flyer. And that was 2800, and I've got speeds bouncing from 2790 to 2812, and they're all right in here, and I don't know why this guy decided to pull out of there. So I'm still kind of chasing why I'm getting these flyers around and why my speed changes. I even actually had a 0 change, but I guess I should probably mention something else that I did in between this. I don't know if you guys remember this thing. This is my 24-inch heavy stainless 223 Wylde barrel on the billet upper. We got this stuff through Midway, and I'm kind of thinking I might have some funny stuff going on with this barrel. I'm thinking this is why we're getting flyers. I'm going to make some changes, and I'm going to walk you guys through what I'm trying to achieve here. And we're going to see if this stuff actually makes a difference. We're going to carry this thing into the workshop. I'm going to do some work on this setup here. The lighting's not real good in there. It's not set up for filming, but we'll just have to see how well I can get this thing to work out. But let's head on over to the workshop. All right, here we are in the workshop. One of the nice things about having a nice heavy barrel and a small handguard is I can't take it off without removing my gas system. So let's see if we pop this thing loose and slide it out of the way a little bit, because I need to get at the barrel nut on the end of this thing. And we're just going to slide that out of the way. Kind of got these loose these up. And off comes the handguard, exposing my barrel nut. And we can take out our bolt carrier because we don't need that. I had acquired a tool from same guys I got the barrel from, Excalibur tools. They're I think they call it, they're barked. But it's kind of a neat little dual purpose tool. One thing it does is it actually slides in the back of your receiver and locks into the barrel lugs, so you can put this thing in your vise and do your torquing and stuff on your nut without putting all the tension on the your receiver. Now these things are made out of aluminum, so you don't want to tweak on them too much. The other style was to actually clamp this around the thing and put that in the vise, and you know, you could do that, but you're depending on the torque you've got to put on this nut, you're really putting a lot of pressure on that aluminum upper, and I'd really rather not do that. One of the other functions this thing does, it is also a lapping tool, and it will lap the front of your receiver. So that's one of the reasons I had this thing apart originally, because I wanted to check the surface on the front of that thing and see just what we had going on there. So it came apart and it got torqued back. Now I had this torqued to 40 foot-pounds. I put it back to 40 foot-pounds, but things changed. My point of aim changed. The groups seem like they might be getting a little bit bigger, so we're going to go back over and I'm actually going to change that torque setting. So let me get this thing set up in the vise here and show you kind of how we do this. I apologize for the lighting. It's not actually the greatest here. And the lights like to buzz. I've got some little aluminum inserts on my vise here. Try not to mess up my tool with the jaws. And you can simply just slide that on there, and that locks in, like I said, on the lugs in the barrel, which is made out of some good steel, and now you can do your thing. The first thing I'm going to do is knock this loose. Buzz that off. Okay, I did lock that on there. Like I said, I had that retorqued, or had that torqued down to 40 foot-pounds, and I'm going to change it up. I'm going to take it up to 55, and see if we can, if that'll make a difference on some of our grouping. Let me carefully get this at a 90-degree angle. 50 foot-pounds, and that's 10 more than what it was. Slide it back apart, put it back together, and we're going to run out and as soon as we can. You know, I go to farm buddy of mine has a farm out there, and I go out there in his place and shoot, so I can actually go out and get my vehicle and drive there, get out, do some shooting, get back in my vehicle and drive home, and I don't see anybody. I don't have to talk to anybody, I don't have to get close to anybody, but still, they don't want me out driving around because they're afraid I'm going to talk to somebody and help spread this stuff around, and I definitely don't want to spread this stuff around. So we can put that back together. I've done some reloading on that to reconfirm some of those groups that I shot, and I'll shoot them again and see if I can make it better. But I'm kind of got my doubts about this barrel. When I had the gunsmith thread this thing, there was a lot of run out in the barrel. Of course, they had it pinned on either end to make sure it was straight with the bore, but you could see some rollout with the barrel. So I'm just kind of wondering if this barrel's just not conducive to shooting straight or whatever. I've got it Loctited in the receiver in there, so there shouldn't be any play, shouldn't be anything moving on. But we're going to see what that extra 10 pounds of torque does to our groups. Alrighty, we've got this thing back together now. One thing I haven't showed you yet, we've got I did some modifications to a little bag rider on my stock here to make it easier to shoot off a bag. And the groups I've been shooting out of this thing here lately have been pretty rock solid. You know, bipod bag. I'm dead on. Got a good hold. So all those groups should have been a little bit tighter from that alone. They get these restrictions pulled off of this nasty fluid that's been running around. We can get back out and do some shooting. All I gotta do is drop my scope back on this puppy and off we go. I've got a few loads loaded back up. I want to go out and try to reconfirm some of that. Hopefully it'll be a little warmer than it has been. And we'll let you know what went on from there. Thanks for watching. Help me out here in the channel if you can. Click subscribe, give me a thumbs up. We'll catch you next time.